everyone. Welcome to my podcast, The Simone Perrant Show. I hope that you're having a great day so far. In my podcast, Awakening, Leaving the Cave, and Rising Above the Herd, I'm going to be talking about something powerful, and it means to wake up. And I don't mean like the type of waking up where you just got out of bed in the morning. I'm talking about being awake spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And so it's about waking up to to who you truly are, who you refuse to be. And so I'm going to go deeper by talking about two famous uh, political philosophers, Plato and Nietzsche. Plato talks about the allegory of the cave, and Nietzsche talks about the herd mentality. In Plato's Allegory of the Cave, and by the way, no worries, if you've never heard of them, um, you will understand what I'm about to explain pretty well. So yeah, let's get right into it. In Plato's Allegory of the Cave, Plato talks about a story about how people live inside the cave their entire lives. They're chained, facing a wall, and behind them is this fire. Behind the fire, people are walking with objects. All these prisoners they see are the shadows. And the shadows are believed to be real, the real truth, and they never question it. And this is how people live their day-to-day lives. They are surrounded by social expectations, media narrative, other people's opinions. They're just drenched in all of these opinions, and they never really turn around and question, step aside to say, like, is this real? And it's not because they're bad. It's just that this is all they've ever known. And one day, one of the folks that live in the cave, they escape because they're able to see this light at the top of the cave. And they're like, oh, wow, what's that? And they go to it, they check it out, and they start to see real objects, light, beauty, truth, grass. They're like, wow, this is amazing. I've never seen this before. And this represents awakening. And awakening is questioning your environment, noticing patterns, breaking the illusions that interfere with reality, refusing to settle for the shadows that everyone else accepts. And awakening is uncomfortable at first, but once you tap into it, it's liberating, it's freedom. That's why they say that the truth will set you free. And once you see the truth, why do you want to go back, right? So now I'm going to be bringing up Nietzsche and the herd. Nietzsche enters with a different angle. He says that most live mentally as the herd. They follow the crowd. They prefer comfort over truth. They avoid standing out. They choose fitting in over thinking for themselves because they fear being different more than being wrong. Does it sound familiar to you? I know it does for me. It reminds me of high school where people have their own cliques and they're labeled as the jocks, the nerds, the outcast, whatever popular group, whatever you want to call it, right? And so according to Nietzsche, he explains that the herd is everywhere. People repeating opinions they didn't form, choosing loyalty to a group over themselves, pretty much silencing their own intuition because it doesn't match the majority. Nietzsche believed that true strength is becoming the person who steps outside of the herd, even if you stand alone, because that is where your true power lies. Now I'm going to tie Plato and Nietzsche together. Plato shows us that people stay asleep. They only know the shadows. Nietzsche shows us why people conform. It feels safer to be a part of the herd. And together, they explain a lot about human behavior, even though their ideas and concepts were formed and created many, many years ago. It explains why people ignore the obvious, why people accept corruption, disrespect, or why they don't notice inappropriate behavior, why people don't question things that should be questioned, why people attack those who dare to speak up, why awakened individuals feel different. When you awaken, it separates you from being in the cave. Being authentic separates you from being in the herd. And what awakening looks like in real life. It means that you are able to notice patterns that others ignore. You sense when something is off. You pick up on behaviors that others normalize. You stop tolerating what everyone else excuses. You refuse to shrink yourself to make others uncomfortable. When you're awake, you think, how do people not see this? How is this normal to them? Because you're not in the cave anymore, and you're not part of the herd anymore. The difference is not a burden, it's your power. And now I'm going to talk about how to live authentically. Begin to start questioning things around you. Don't just accept the shadows as truth. Begin to trust your intuition. Your perception is sharper when you actually pay attention. I've heard people say, I had a bad feeling about this and I wish that I trusted my feeling. The more you trust yourself, the stronger and more aware your intuition becomes. Learn to honor your individuality. Being different is not a flaw, it's a higher level of awareness. If you look at a beautiful rainbow, there are different colors a part of that rainbow, and each color represents its own individuality, authenticity, and beautiful magic that it brings together when it expresses itself. So I just want to give you some closing thoughts. You were never meant to live in a cave, and you were never meant to live blindly with the herd. Your awakening is not an accident, it's your calling. And every time you choose to be authentic, to have clarity, courage, curiosity, and self respect, you step further into the light. Thank you so much for listening to the Simone Perrant Show. I hope that this resonated with you. Make sure you subscribe and stay awake out there. Until next time, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, blessed day.